Hey kids, it's Arp. This is the ArpCast, somewhat live from the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains in eastern Tennessee. Today we talk about different things, weird people, and maybe unicorns and rainbows. We read poetry and short stories too. Most of all, we keep it real. This is the ArpCast, starting now. ArpCast number 77, The Four Seasons. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. It's Friday. It's the Big Friday program, April 20, 2018. That's right. I'm getting so old I have to look down at my show notes to remind me what day it is. Can you believe that? That's crazy. It's the end of another week. It has been a long week. Stressful, but man, it's been rewarding. It has. Work excites me. Can you believe that? Late 40s, still through ups and downs, work excites me. It energizes me. I like that. I do. And I was telling someone today that my work has variety, has different, there's staccato moments and there's legato moments, and it ebbs and flows. It's wonderful. And, having the people that I have around me makes it that much more wonderful. As I was relaxing tonight after this long week that I just told you about, I was listening to a little bit of Vivaldi, a little bit of Four Seasons. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And Vivaldi kind of recounts the Four Seasons in music. Absolutely mind-numbing that anyone could write the way that he wrote, and by invoking a sense of, yes, I am really in the season that the music is set to. Amazing. And looking back on my life, and I think I get this very much from my father, I always like places that have four distinct seasons. Where I hail from, India has three seasons. It's kind of, summer, monsoon, winter. And then it goes right into summer. And that has changed dramatically even in the last 10 to 12 years. 10, 15 years, that it's gotten warmer and warmer earlier and earlier. Not that there's anything political there, but that's what I sense. And so this sense of four distinct seasons, where I live now, here in the Great Tennessee Valley, that's right. And I know tomorrow's the white-orange game. I'm not sure what that is. But here in the Great Tennessee Valley, four distinct seasons. Now, as it turns out, we can't figure out which season we're in right now, so we keep toggling back and forth. But we have spring, summer, fall, winter here. It's lovely. It's gorgeous. So, spring. Spring is probably my third season. I know I'm weird. I'm strange about my seasons. You have the rain, you have the pollen, but you have the rain and you have the pollen. That's this season. It's a season of resurrection and growth, a new life. What a wonderful thing to have. And what a wonderful place to have it, where you have a countryside and a city that comes together so wonderfully as K-Town does, to have these distinct seasons. And I love it. The variety. Summer. It's hot. Summer is going to be hot. It's muggy. There's a river here. Or wherever you might live, there's some other element, but it's going to be warm. It's what the earth does. We talked about it yesterday, or the day before, right? Rotation, revolution. As we're rotating around the axis and it spins, and in the summer it's pointing towards the sun, in the winter you're going to get the seasons. That's what happens. And why do we go nuts, crazy over, well, gee, I don't like this or I don't like that? We should sit back and enjoy the intensity of each season. And summer is no different. No different. Long days, the outdoors, the heat, the sauna, the vitamin D. Just take it all in. Take it all in. And I'll be the first one to tell you, summer is not my favorite season. I don't like the heat. But I think as I've aged, it's been interesting, and as my philosophy has changed, it's more bearable. Because I understand and appreciate that it too has a purpose. And it has a life of its own. And a death of its own. And that death, as we all know, is fall. Which is interesting, death, fall. But we move right into fall. And my good friend Dwayne Fulmer will agree with me. Fall is my favorite season. The colors, the crispness, kind of a new, right? But it's not that raw, crisp, cold that you get a little later in the year. But there is an element, a calming element when autumn arrives. And the air settles down. And as I said, the leaves fall. And the harvest is there, right? So we spent spring growing, summer growing, and in the fall, we harvest. We get the bounty of the land. And then we have a slow but sure colorful fade into what I'm sure many of us believe is death, winter, which is actually my number 2 season. I love winter. I lived in a very cold part of the country for, I don't know, call it 8 years, north of the Mason-Dixon line, and for about 5 years, up in the northeast of the United States. Very cold, a lot of snow. I won't be going back, but I enjoyed it. I learned to cope. I learned the struggle. Now, they are better equipped with it. They know how to move their snow around and get it out of the way. And I appreciate that, because I don't know how to drive in this stuff, as most Southerners do not. But it had its own charm. It had its own beauty. And for this we should be grateful. These 4 seasons that we're given, 3 seasons. And in India, it's interesting, as I was saying, summer, monsoon, winter, and then right back into summer. And people have adapted to that. People understand and appreciate it. And when I was young and I'd go over there, and the monsoon was just it's amazing. It was overbearing. The amount of the water, just inundated with water. So those are the 4 seasons. We start with growth, and we end up with this sort of passive death, a time to reflect and plan for the coming spring and rebirth. Real quick, the shirt. That's right, it's my Superman shirt, given to me by 2 of my favorite ladies in the world. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Well, kids, you know who this is. It's ARP, damn it. You have been listening to the ArpCast, a sensational, fact-filled experience meant to change the world. I'm happy you stopped by. Our sponsors, those greedy, wily bastards, thank you too. Make sure to write. This has been the ArpCast. I'm out.